Young Buzz, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some really fun and exciting news that combines two powerhouse groups in the K-pop industry, NCT and Stray Kids. Now, if you've been following both groups, you already know how much of a cultural impact they've had, not only in Korea but globally. But here's the thing, this time, they're not coming together on stage, not in a concert, and not even in an award show performance. Instead, they're heading to the kitchen. Yes, you heard that right. Mark and Chenle from NCT, along with Lino and Felix from Stray Kids, are going to appear on JTBC's popular variety show, Please Take Care of My Refrigerator. Now, for those of you who don't know the show, let me give you a quick refresher. Please Take Care of My Refrigerator is basically a cooking variety program where celebrities bring their refrigerators and professional chefs have to create dishes using only the ingredients found inside. It's been such a beloved show because it's not only about cooking, but also about personality, humor, and those little behind-the-scenes glimpses into the lives of our favorite stars. So, having idols like Mark, Chenle, Lino, and Felix on it, that's like hitting the jackpot in terms of both fun and fan service. What's especially cool here is that the production team themselves said the four idols absolutely lit up the set the moment they walked in. Think about that for a second. We know these guys for their charisma on stage, their intense performances, and their world tours. But here, we're seeing them in a whole new light, relaxed, playful, and showing off their real personalities. And if you're like me, sometimes seeing idols outside of the music stage makes you feel even closer to them, because it's like, hey, they're just like us, but with way cooler refrigerators. Now let's talk about Chenle for a second, because honestly, he kind of stole the spotlight in this story. Did you know he's actually a diehard fan of the show? Like, not just casually watching when he has time, but literally tuning in every single week. He even admitted, "My goal today is to get all the chefs." That's so Chenle, right? Just straightforward, funny, and charming all at once. I can totally imagine the chefs laughing and rolling their eyes like, who is this idol who's trying to befriend all of us? But at the same time, you can feel how genuine he is about it. And here's another fun layer. Chenle already had connections with some of the chefs before even coming on this show. Kim Poong, for example, worked with Chenle on another web variety show, and apparently, Chenle would always ask him, "How do I get on Cold Father?" That's the nickname for the show, by the way. And then Chef Choi Hyun-suk actually revealed that Chenle slid into his DMs. Yes, that's right. Chenle was DMing him like a true fanboy, asking for cooking tips. Choi even said Chenle asks him more questions than his own restaurant students. That is wild, but also very wholesome. Now let's pause here for a second, because I want to ask you guys, what do you think about idols being such huge fans of variety shows like this? Personally, I love it because it makes them so much more relatable. Like, Chenle being obsessed with a cooking show is the same as us binge-watching K-dramas or variety programs. It just shows that even though these idols are stars, they're still fans of something. They still get excited, and they still geek out just like we do. So let me know in the comments, what's a show or hobby that you'd love to see your favorite idol get obsessed with? And then there's Mark. Sweet, hardworking Mark, who's been on an overseas schedule, flying back in the early morning, and then heading straight into filming. You've got to admire that dedication. But even though he's super busy, he still had something to say about Chenle's obsession with the show. Mark said, "Whenever I go to Chenle's house, Cold Father is always on, so I became a fan too." Like, can you imagine that? Just picturing Mark hanging out casually at Chenle's place watching a cooking show together. It feels so normal, but at the same time, it's mind-blowing, because we know how much their lives are usually packed with rehearsals, recordings, and performances. What I find really interesting here is how cooking has become this bonding element. It's not just about food. It's about sharing time, creating memories, and letting people in on a more personal side of your life. We don't always get to see that side of idols. Usually, everything's so polished and carefully curated. But on a show like this, when you open up your fridge, you're literally opening up a window into your life. And speaking of fridges, oh boy, the ingredients Chenle brought in are next level. Apparently, his fridge is stocked with really fancy stuff, like not just your regular eggs, milk, and leftovers, but sauces, Chinese ingredients, and even hot pot essentials. When Chef Choi Hyun-suk saw everything, he was like, "These are ingredients you'd only find in restaurants." And that really says a lot. It tells us not only that Chenle is serious about cooking, but also that he enjoys it enough to stock up on rare and high-quality ingredients. Honestly, that makes me wonder, do you think Chenle is the type who cooks for his members or for himself? Because if my friend had that kind of fridge, I'd be camping at their house for dinner every weekend. And then, of course, there's the dynamic of having Lee Know and Felix in the mix. We haven't gotten as many details yet about their role in the episode, but knowing their personalities, I can only imagine the hilarious interactions that are going to happen. Lee Know has that sassy, straightforward humor, while Felix is just pure sunshine. Put them in a cooking show scenario, and it's bound to be chaos, but the best kind of chaos. Now, what's fascinating is that this show isn't just about showing off what's in someone's fridge. It's about the interactions, the jokes, and the little stories that pop up when idols get comfortable. Imagine Lee Know with his sharp one-liners, maybe teasing Chenle about being overly passionate about cooking, or Felix reacting with his deep voice whenever something funny happens. That's exactly the kind of variety show Magic fans love. It humanizes them, makes them feel approachable, and gives us moments we can laugh about for years. And you know what? I think this crossover between NCT and Stray Kids is really special. Usually, variety shows tend to invite members from one group, maybe two at most. But seeing these two powerhouse groups share the screen, interact, and even bond over something like food, it's refreshing. It's like a small taste of what fans always dream of. Idols from different groups becoming friends and showing us their chemistry. I mean, imagine the fandoms colliding in the best way possible, just cheering them on as they laugh, cook, and eat together. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. These idols are incredibly busy. World tours, comeback preparations, content filming, it never stops. Yet here they are, making time to appear on a cooking variety show. That shows just how versatile they are and how much they care about connecting with fans beyond just the music. I honestly think appearances like this add to their longevity as artists because it shows they're not just performers on stage, but personalities we can enjoy in so many different settings. Now let's talk about Chenle's ingredients again, because honestly, it kind of blew my mind. Stocking up on restaurant-level ingredients tells me two things. One, Chenle clearly has the resources to indulge in high-quality products. But two, and more importantly, he really takes his hobby seriously. How many of us would actually go that far for something we love? It's inspiring in a way. It makes me think about how idols often teach us passion, whether it's for music, dance, or in this case, cooking. If Chenle can pursue cooking this deeply despite his crazy idol schedule, maybe it's a reminder that we can also make time for things we love, no matter how busy life gets. And then there's the question of who cooks the best within their groups. We've heard stories about idols who can barely boil water and others who can whip up full-course meals. So I'm really curious, will this episode reveal who's got the real cooking chops? Will Chenle impress the chefs? Will Felix and Lee Know surprise us with hidden kitchen skills? Or will Mark just be there to taste test everything and cheer the others on? Honestly, I'm here for all of it. But let me ask you guys, if you could look into any idol's fridge, whose would you want to see? Personally, I think it would be hilarious to see someone like Bang Chan or Taeyong, because they both give off organized but chaotic vibes. And I feel like their fridges would either be super neat or completely random. Drop your pics in the comments, because I'm really curious to see what you guys think. And speaking of fans, I think this episode is going to be one of those moments where both fandoms, NCTzens and Stays, come together online to celebrate. It's already a rare treat to see their faves on the same screen. And when you add in the humor and warmth of a cooking show, it's like a guaranteed recipe for success. Pun fully intended. Here's another angle I want to bring up, the cultural side of cooking. Chenle stocking up on Chinese ingredients is such a cool representation of his identity. It's not just food, it's culture, it's memory, it's comfort. For international fans, it's a chance to learn more about where he comes from and what flavors he values. And that, in turn, deepens the connection between artist and fan. Because food, just like music, is universal. It brings people together. So when this episode airs, I don't think it's just going to be about laughs and jokes. I think fans are also going to walk away with a stronger appreciation for these idols as individuals. They're more than performers. They're people with hobbies, quirks, and passions. And that's what makes variety shows like this so powerful. They bridge that gap between stage persona and real human being. Now, before we wrap things up, I want to make a little prediction. I think Chenle's fridge is going to become the star of the episode. Sure, the idols themselves will shine, but the chefs reacting to his ingredients is going to be comedy gold. And I wouldn't be surprised if fans start recreating some of the dishes from the show, or even trying out new ingredients just because they saw Chenle had them in his fridge. That's the kind of ripple effect these shows can have. All right, let's bring this home. NCT and Stray Kids coming together for Please Take Care of My Refrigerator is not just exciting, it's iconic. We're getting to see their personalities shine, their friendships unfold, and their love for food come to life. And honestly, I can't wait to watch it. So now I want to hear from you. Are you more excited to see Chenle fanboying over the chefs, Mark being his wholesome self, Lino dropping witty comments, or Felix just lighting up the room with his charm? Drop your answers in the comments below because I'll be reading through them, and I want to see which member you think will steal the show. And if you enjoyed hanging out with me today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with your fellow fans. This is Anyang Buzz, and I'll see you in the next one.